I do not know why the stream status is poor. Um, I even have it on low latency, so I may need to restart the stream, possibly. Don't know why. Oh, now we went to excellent once I started talking. Good to know. Hey. Okay, well, it's been what, about 5 minutes? Yeah. Um, Today's stream's going to be starting a bit differently today. Um, so yeah, is something planned. It's going to be at the beginning. So thank you guys for being here. Thank you for supporting me. And yeah, I'm going to let a video run for about 10 minutes, maybe. And this is going to be an interesting stream. So I thank you all who have shown up. I thank all of you who will watch this in the future. Um, so I thank my moderators. You guys know who you are for at least hopefully keeping chat on a positive side. So yeah, I will be back. I'm going to let the video start. Okay. Turn on. Whoops, wrong YouTube chat. Video capture. Turn the counter back on. Turn off the starting. Okay. So, last stream, I'm not gonna wear the chainmail today. Last stream, we were working on side quests, and yeah, that drove me nuts. So I did a bunch of side quests off camera. I am now level 50. We are currently still on a side quest, but that's more of the spell quest for Scarecrow. Now, part of me does want to arguably go back to all the worlds off camera and complete all the side quests and see what level we become after Celestia when we enter Celestia proper. Now, two things. Now rules start to get enforced again. First rule is I have to have level the best gear possible, i.e., I am probably going to have to... What the heck happened on here? There we go. Whoops. That goes there. Oh, yeah. One last thing. There we go. So, yeah. I do one last thing. But, yeah, we gotta go take on Kagemusha for Scarecrow. Now, considering I'm deaf, they're probably deaf, they're going to be a problem. So, hope everyone's doing okay. I'm doing a bit better. It's been a few days, but let's see. I probably will have to go AFK relatively soon. I should go actually check on that. So I will actually be right back for a second. I know I just started and I already have to go AFK, but it's just a quick check it on food is all. Sorry about that. I am back from lunch. Hey. Great timing for starting the stream, right as I am about to head to lunch. Yeah, brilliant. So, hey. Okay, on to Kagamusha. Should have done that again. Kagamusha, at which Kagamusha...
Curses.
Yes, yes, yes. I believe I have to fight Kagamusha anyway for this dungeon. Wasn't I complaining about having to fight slaves last time? I firmly believe I was complaining that I was fighting slaves last time as well. Be nice if I could right click on it. Yeah. Be nice if I could get rid of that. Maybe there is an option for it. That didn't kill them. Of course it didn't. There we go. Stupid fight that was 100% avoidable. Oh, you're kidding me.
The great.
I have to do this entire dungeon. Oh, well, that bites. Namunga is... I'll just go with the Central Meadow teleporter.
It must be humbling to stand in my presence. Now remove yourself, or I will remove you.
No, you're not going to remove me. See, you're going to die a very sharp and painful death, Mr. Death Pig. The Reaper has come for your soul. And then Faint, then Threefold to Monster Mash. Should probably be more than enough to kill this guy in one hit. Threefold Fever, and then Monster Mash. You summon a Banshee. Still hurts, but... Now, I'm trying to get Scarecrow right now. The goal is to get Scarecrow. The second goal is the D&D dungeon. At which, with a D&D dungeon, I do not have problems with people joining and helping. Since that is a gauntlet, not storyline quest, that is fine. Of course, I would like people of level, not ahead of level, because I would rather get gear that I could immediately use. $6,000? Yeah, sir, you're dead a few times over. Like, seriously, your minion is still choosing to fight after watching a coffin be slammed into you. So, yeah, I believe the minions need to realize when their bosses are beyond killed. God, that would be an interesting mechanic if they ever added it. I know KI won't add it, but it would be very interesting if they did. Where if the minions, when a boss fight happens, if you manage to do 2 times...
Nobunaga drops the Dagger of Shadows.
Like, if you manage to pull, say, double damage, or double, if not triple, the amount of the boss's health in a hit, the minions just flee. Arguably, that would make sense.
You have reclaimed the dagger. Now plunge the Dagger of Shadows into the... The Dagger of Shadows can open a portal into the spirit world and take... He will lie to strike despair.
Yeah, I understand that.
Do not listen. You have the strength to restore the Tree of Life.
Thank you.
Now, use the Dagger of Shadows to open the portal to the...
A portal suddenly rips open.
Now I can defeat Kagamusha. Which, honestly, he's not a problematic,
I see through all. You are but a child full of fear. Here in the spirit world, your paltry magic has no power.
as I happen to be holding a drum of concentrated nightmares. So, I know the Death Oni spawns in afterwards, and I'm already here and I have the quest, so I should probably grab that book afterwards. If I can. Yeah, let's go with Kia to get another blade. Oh, wait, I'm getting hit. That's how bad I see the way the mobs have been rebalanced. Is I could just fall asleep and it's like, I don't care. Oh no, Fire Elf. Such a big concern. Literally best attack on the boss. Weakness need not apply because your life... Never mind. The, umbrella might actually be the best weapon I also have. Dear Knight it is. The umbrella might be my best wand, so even if I get the isodecahedron, so the D20 from the Liches and Legends gauntlet, I don't know if that's going to be any better than my death wand right now. Now, I'll give. Having critical rating makes sense. So switch, if I get critical rating. The damage over time is going to be negated. I already know that. But I can at least help whittle. Like I said, it's going to be negated. The one heavy impact was more than enough. The whittling of the health, on the other hand, is going to be a pain in the butt. God, I wish I had a soundboard right now because I could have played a specific voice line. Don't want to waste the prism. That's why I'm waiting for that to time out then. Wait, oh, was I attacked? No? Okay. Honestly, minion, even, I swear, the bosses should not be using low-level spells. They really shouldn't. It doesn't make sense for them to be using... Even this spell alone shouldn't be used in this world anymore. Because at this point, combat has been so nerfed that you theoretically, unless you poorly timed something. Like, the only fights that I've actually struggled with.
Kajimusha falls back in defeat.
Too late. The tree of life is already doomed. You cannot stop the tide of darkness. Surrender and know the
This book starts.
There we go. That gets me that. Get Rebirth of what? What was that a badge? I have no clue what that was. Because that doesn't make sense. How did I get Rebirth of... History of Mushu. I have no clue how I got that. At all. Okay, now I need to go talk to Dwargen.
You seem pleased with yourself. Have you got a nice little seed of death to show me? Seed and water. Just one more. Now, with the seed of death and the quintessence of fear, you can make your scarecrow. What? You thought I'd just give one to you? Oh, no, that wouldn't be appropriate. Each must be crafted by its user. There are a few items you'll need to make your scarecrow with. Wood from the Death Tree in Wizard City for the framework, and some sackcloth from... Go speak to the Death Tree and see if you can get some twigs for the skeleton. Then Gloria Crendel for the sackcloth. Bring
Hey, Mortis.
What are you looking at my twigs for, little death wizard?
Oh, that is brilliant.
Spare twigs? That shouldn't be a problem. Here you go.
Thank you.
Twigs fall from the death tree's limbs onto the ground. You gather them up.
Gloria Kendall is in Old Town. So that shouldn't be a problem. So this is where we get into a potential catch 22-ish area, because I know old school wise that Winter Tusk crafting gear tended to be one of the best gear sets of weapons items in the
Sackcloth? That won't be comfortable at all.
I need to make a scarecrow.
Some of that. You need it for a scarecrow? Well, that makes sense. I have some here. Hope you can put it to good use.
Thank you.
Gloria gives you a length of rough cloth.
What do you have to say, Muldoon?
I'm certain of two things. First, that there's terrible trouble. I've heard nothing but good things about you since you first came here, and this seems right up your alley.
Considering I cleared the way for you.
My superior, Lieutenant Culpepper, I'd look myself, but I can't leave my post. Could you stroll over to Colossus Boulevard and...
Now I know what that is. That is the cheating dungeon.
Culpepper?
That is a cheating dungeon that no one farms, because it is a pain in the butt. Like, complete pain in the butt. Hello, I was about to say welcome to the stream, since I saw one person who was in the stream. Okay, Dworgen.
Seed, twigs, sackcloth, and water. All of the pieces are in hand.
Don't fear the Reaper.
I'll show you how to make a miniature scarecrow to use as an offering.
Thank
Dwarven
you.
helps you craft a tiny scarecrow using sackcloth and twigs. You place the seed of death in its chest, where a heart goes.
Excellent work, young wizard. You could have quite the career in doll making if you choose to give up all this magic business.
No, thank you.
Now you must go to the yard outside Lord Nightshade's tower in the haunted cave off Triton Avenue. There you must plant the scarecrow in the ground and water it with the quintessence of fear. Oh yes, it'll be quite the fright, so brace yourself.
I don't know if Dworgen is trying to scare. God, I'd have to look at all the quests. I'd have to look at every single quest for the spell quests to see if Dworgen actually is trying to scare, because the two professors trying to scare the wizard away would argumentatively be Dworgen just by accident. He's not intending it. But at the same time, Dworgen's not helping his argument. But the other person I would see is, having quote-unquote issues would be Cyrus. And that's mainly because of, the fact that with Cyrus, part of it is all of the professors, arguably, would have to know about the prophecy that was foretold by Bartleby. Said prophecy is basically talking about the wizard, the player character, arriving and saving the spiral. Considering Cyrus Drake is Malister's brother, and if you are a myth wizard, you are simultaneously, you have the myth professor teaching the one who would effectively unaliven his brother. If anything, I could see Cyrus Drake trying to set you up for failure to begin with. So, and that's just because of the...
You follow Dworgen's instructions precisely, setting the scarecrow on the ground and watering it with the quintessence of fear.
Hello.
Young wizard, you have summoned me from the marsh where I stood watch for so many years. I will serve you and drive our enemies from this land.
Sweet.
I shall show them fear in a handful of dust.
That doesn't sound evil at all. None whatsoever. Hello, Dworgen.
The Scarecrow appeared to you, did he? Very well, then. He found you worthy. Here's a spell to summon him with.
Thank you. As we now have a pet phantasm. Ah. Gives Wraith, but that's a different Wraith. 1 second. Spell. Yeah, that is the old school Wraith spell. Putrefaction. Clear a heal over time target and the target gets a penalty. Putrefaction. Clear a blade on target. Ooh, that is actually useful. Okay, and because I know I'm storm weaving, I need to go to the storm school to get more storm spells. Now, the reason I'm actually so happy about that is for that the spell gives me a way to deal with enemies blading, and arguably they blade poorly. So that is great for me. And that's the thing, is they blade poorly. If they blade poorly, I get to put more weaknesses without having the weakness card in my deck. Clear damage over time for a Storm Blade. That could also be useful. I don't see... I see Triton being required. On target. The energy transfer, that would be great and all. But the Reap the Whirlwind, considering I'm going to have some storm spells. I do have Triton. Why can't I get... Yeah, I have Triton right there. Why can't... Ah, now I could get Stormlord. Okay. Okay, Reap the Whirlwind would be very useful if I'm fighting fire mobs. Fire mobs tend to have more damage over time than any. Stormlord would be great, but I have Scarecrow. Scarecrow is basically the only spell I need at this point. So I would argue the best spell to have would probably be the Whirlwind, then, because that would actually allow me to complete the redeaded, the undead. Fight Rotten Rob a couple thousand times. Now that I could disable his permanent thing with this spell right here. Now then, I need to rebuild my spell deck. Now, the thing is, if I rebuild my spell deck, I need to be using my level spell deck. Now, if I go shop, there is a reason I'm going to the Crown Shop. Packs, Litches and Legends, and give me that. I don't need the Growl. I want the specifically, I need... So, Skull of the Skinless King does not give me any critical. Array of the Skinless King... Dirk of the Skinless King actually is better in the health department and gets me +7. So yeah. But the Array of the Skinless King gives me some more arch mastery, so I don't need to worry about buying that gem anymore. Raiment gives a good, and Shoes of the Skinless gives me a good amount as well. Hedron, that's what I'm looking for. It is just 1 point better than the than my Eerie umbrella. Okay, so here's the thing. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to check the bazaar. Now, I know the Liches and Legends Gauntlet is going to be the best gear in the game that I have access to. The actual probably best gear in the game would probably be the Hidden Temple Gauntlet. If I go to the Hidden Temple Gauntlet, and just look for compared to my Goth Fairy Key Shoes, the Raider's Kicks is already a good thing, and it gives me a Tower Shield, which I already have due to the amulet. If I look at the robe, Raider, again, that gets me Virulent Plague, which... So I'm looking at Raider Ring. And Raider cards. So slightly better than that of the Gauntlet, because it gives me 64 cards instead of... 64 instead of the... 64 instead of 60. As if we go with the Bazaar, here's where we get into an interesting predicament with my rule set. Now, unless they change the level 50 gear from Celestia, which I don't believe they have. Yeah, they have not. They have the critical rating. The Celestial Abyss helmet set is better than what I'm wearing currently. Spider Keeper's Dark Hat. Okay, that gives me... That feels like it should be crafted gear. It also gives Dead Zone. Okay. And costs me a very expensive penny. Celestial Abyss. Malshare Drake's Ebon suit. Celestial. Okay, do we actually have the full Celestial Abyss in the Bazaar? Yes, the entire set bonus. Plus 2, plus 42. 2 is plus that. 6. That I'm surprised by, that the entire set is there. The boots arguably are still worse, but considering the set bonus gives more health. No level 50 wands, so again, the current thing I have is the best set. The Soul Singer's knife is still the best item. Legendary Vial, Wildfire, Pendant of Protective Pendant, Regen. Is that a stackable feint? Yes, that is a stackable feint. That actually could be worth it. The Web, 158, 198, and Crew. Okay, that would also be useful for the Celestial Abyss set. That's 5 pieces. That's 1, 2, 3, 4. Snow Crushers Mortalis. 55 for 6. So, Deck of the Departure is better than this. So, that's why I wanted to check. The thing is, with the gear from the Liches and Legends, if I pull that back up, Skinless King, no critical rating. No critical rating. But we get 15 plus 7. So we're already at a 18, 22, just with these two, just a 22% bonus. 22, 30, 30, then that's relieving the 11, so 41%. 56%. 56%. 60, 61, 67% for the entire Skinless King set. 67, that's, and again, I have a bunch of stuff I probably should sell. But literally, the max spell is 60, max copies 4, but again, Deck of the Last Departure is still better than what's being sold here. Which means the Skinless King deck gives me upwards of 67%. If I look at my stats, that becomes a 67 just from the gear alone from the Gauntlet. Okay, I don't get any critical rating, which is the downside. And I have an Arch Mastery of 40, so I don't need to get any more, So yeah, it does feel like they are pushing critical rating later. That way you start getting your percentiles. Gems-wise, we should be able to go up to level 50, and technically we could start getting some critical rating, but not a lot. I do want to get the 5% Onyx, because I believe, if I go back to the pack, again, this is just the easiest way to get the data. Square, triangle, clasp of the Skinless King gives me those. If I go Dirk of the Skinless King, tier, circle, circle, square. Everything else is not going to have that. So when I go gems, blemish accurate. So what if I go here? Flat damage bonuses. I don't need the flat damage. I would prefer the 3% crit at that point. At which we have to go to here for mana, or yeah, just straight up mana increases, which isn't what we're needing. And then the star gems can't be sold. The pins can only be used in certain armors. The storm accurate would actually be helpful with my storm spells. But as I was saying, the only spell we're really going to need is we could get rid of the gambit mechanic that I was using with, we still want Kiad, that way we could do damage. Deer Knight has been a very good staple, but at this point, Scarecrow will do more damage. I'd like to keep all my life leech skills. I'd like to keep anything that gives me bonuses to stuff. Now, prisms I don't necessarily need unless I'm fighting a death boss. Spell writing wise, again, Dark Sprite and Ghoul, as much as I could upgrade them to get me a few extra effects, don't seem that useful to me. I need a bit more to actually upgrade him to do more damage. Let's see. Banshee doesn't seem to be probably any use. Crimson Monk probably not going to be any use. Again, if I upgrade him this route, I would have to sacrifice blades, which with the spirit blades, I actually would make him more viable, arguably. Okay, that made him more viable. Scarecrow, I clear 6 blades for yeah, damage path is probably the better way for that one. Kya, I can't really do anything about. Skeletal Pirate, clear on enemies. So again, could be useful, but not necessarily. Vampire, I don't have enough. Again, Monster Mash. I can upgrade to get the other one to clear an aura for a caster for assumes the magic school of the target weaknesses. Now, this could actually be more useful because of Celestia. Okay. Hey, hello, Wizard. We're, not much, just trying to figure out what I do before going to Celestia, because right now with if I go to Celestia, sorry for missing your message. I didn't see it pop up. It should have popped up in the stream, and I'm sorry for missing it. But right now I'm looking at potentially needing to get better gear for Celestia, and I have a bit of a catch-22. Because, arguably, well, monstrously, actually, I would argue that KI has been trying to push critical rating back. And in a way, it has. Even in the gear in the Bazaar, as you probably already saw, level 50 gear... Okay, we have some that still gives critical, but... Plus 15 universal critical rating. Helm of Totality. But the Abyss Helm... Right now, the Abyss Helm... I'm not going to sell it yet. No, I'm not going to sell that yet. Okay. So if I look at my stats with this gear, I go down to 40% because I'm 40%. I still get a few bonuses here and there. I gain 10% resistance to all schools. I gain 21 and 10% critical block critical rating. A plus 50-50 chance at that. But I'm only getting, I need the full set, which means I need arguably the ring, the Athame, which, by the way, does not seem to be sold at the bazaar. I don't think it's an amulet for the set. And Celestian Abyss set. So Signet of You actually is part of it. No. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, there's an amulet and an Athame or a spell deck. The treasure deck counts as part of the totality. So, again, backpack, looking at the Abyss set. We do get access to Monstrous, which arguably is a good set of cards to have. So having this set of gear, equipment sets, create new, and we're just going to go, you know, death, critical 1. Then go back to what I was wearing earlier. Control +1 will get us that. But what I could do is just death main set. It's nice that we have these sets, but this basically is my main right now. And comparatively, even though I lose the critical rating, I gain more. I almost gain half damage from this set. So what I want to do is comparatively, skeletal keys, dungeons. Captain Science Lab, a hut. Hello, Raven Fortress. That's the one I've been struggling with. I will gladly help you there, sir. I would love to get Othin taken care of. So let's do that. I know I don't have to, but the reason I want to is because I need access to potentially getting into Winter Tusk. Winter Tusk, again, might have some good gear that might be worth it. So, critical rating is a little hard to explain, but the way critical works is it adds a potential it doesn't do double damage anymore, which is what it used to do. It does about depending on the enemy, upwards of a bonus 75 on top of all your bonuses, plus upwards to, like the highest I've seen is like 90, plus 95 extra damage. But again, from what my understanding is, they're trying to make that be a little bit harder to pull off now. Because criticals aren't guaranteed, and enemies do have a chance at critical block. So, which negates the critical. So, argumentatively, doing the percentile is better than the potential, yeah, that's going to be a very easy fight with a level 62 in it. The only reason I'm doing this with people is because Grizzleheim isn't a storyline world, nor is it a problematic thing with my rules. As much as I would love to have been able to beat all 4 of them, I am now double what that world is supposed to be. And I was struggling at level 45. So, I'll gladly take the L on this one. As I have dropped 15,000 frames. Good to know. Plus, I think this also counts towards the spell weaving, so arguably it's not. You're wearing water. You are just going to insta-kill Oliver. Oliver, in theory, should just be able to insta-kill everything for us, which is a little sad. The reason I think I was failing as much was because of the action economy. I do not have any prisms. Crap. Okay. I love how we actually went from highest health to lowest. Also, my mana is pretty low, which is not normal for me, but that's still a good amount of mana before I have to spend it. This is where that monstrous would actually be very useful, because that would make having the monstrous is actually worth it. It might be worth having the Skinless King set for when I'm fighting normal mobs, but when it comes to that's all. Again, I'm using old knowledge of Celestia that may no longer be accurate. If it's no longer accurate, then it's not going to help. Hello, Chewbacca. And here's what I mean by critical. And how I said he was going to one-shot everything.
Aye! You may have beaten us now, but the Everwinter must come. Tell your king that the Everwinter is inevitable. This world will end in ice!
Defense, Lambent Blade, Frostwood Blade. Okay, so these were level 45 guys that I was fighting. Never mind, my last argument is moot. Okay, so now I could... So now it's go home and basically figure out... So this is where I'm going to have to do some research and do some wonderful stat blocking. Because the Celestial Gear gives me Monstrous, which allows me to modify 2 spells per battle, which if I am blatantly honest, it makes sense to use. But it also makes somewhat sense to go with this. But if I were to look at, can we just go back? If I look at the Scourge, like, this one still also doesn't give me any critical rating. If I were to get that. So, the bigger question would be, I need to do some writing down, which writing this stuff down makes sense. So right now it's going to be a lot of, this is what I wanted this sort of challenge to be, where I'm trying to figure out how all the game mechanics in this game work, how to exploit what I can at certain levels. Like, at this point, is the Crown Shop gear actually worth it? So that's why I'm questioning, is this actually worth it? Or is it better to try to figure out if going with any other gear would be worth it? Welcome to the stream, person who just joined. Right now, sort of in a planning phase. So right now, our gear needs to be replaced. The problem is, right now, so if I go Celestian Abyss. Okay, that gets us health, resist, crit, and damage. Okay, that gets us 238 for Univ 21 death and 10%. Okay. Hey, bub. Thank you for being here. Then we have the 10 crit block. So we have power pip chance. Plus 6%. Block being 10% universal. Another 6 universal. And another 13%. Then 119, another 4% power pip. Accuracy plus 2% death. 7%. Then the set bonus is, so we get spells. Monstrous. Which adds up plus 175, plus 175 damage. Okay. There's also with the set bonus, and 2 of them give a plus 72 HP. If we had all 6, which we don't, by the way, Signet of Sepulture, so that would be another 2, 1, 8, another 5%, and a bonus 10% power pip chance. Okay. So in total, with the first set bonus that we can actually get, calculator. Whoops, calculate. I misclicked. 238 plus 119 plus 218 plus 72. As I'm getting a phone call, I will be right back. Thank you. I didn't realize I still had my thing muted. My bad. Thank you, Semi. Thank you for notifying me. Got that fixed. I am sorry. So, now then, last bit of the calculator. Okay, so 1774 is my base health plus 5 plus 237 plus 240 plus 250 plus 288 plus 140. So total would be 3034 health. The 120 plus 144 plus 144, 120 plus 144 plus 408, 3, well, 15, 30, 33, 36, 55% death, 4, 8 plus 8, 63% damage. Then, I don't think I didn't do the wand because the wand only adds another 1%. Yeah, it only adds another 1%. So that's a 64% total damage boost, 8% out heal. 19% universal res. And 7% death accuracy. Okay. So, this wonderful scrolling of information basically, with my current gear, yes, I get 21 critical rating. However, this is not 21%. I wish it was a percentile, but it's not. Basically, if my number is higher than the enemies, then I have a chance at critting. If these are higher than the enemies and they crit on me, and this is higher than the enemies, then I block. Vice versa. If their stats are higher than my crit, they can block. But the Skinless King set outpaces the 4 minus 2, 4, 1. Outpaces the health department by 613. In health, which again, 2412 divided by 3034 is about a 11% health difference. Okay. The mana is 100% difference because the Celestial Abyss gear does not give any armor, any mana. Damage, we have a 35% versus a 64%. That is a clear winner for Skinless King here. Resistances are through the roof on, so the resistance also is a 10% versus a 19%, which again goes Skinless King. Accuracy also goes Skinless King. When it comes to crit, it's the Celestial Gear. Spells wise, with the Celestial Gear, we're getting 2 monstrous versus with the Skinless King set, packs, Litches and Legends, Skinless King. With the going from here, we get Tower versus Tower Shield and Cleanse, at which that's 1 card of Pierce. Okay. No spell from that. No spell from the ring, which is fine. Raiment of You gets us Entangle. Okay. Shoes of the Skinless gets us Dissipate. Skull gives us Strangle. The wand gets us Moon Shield, which we have from our Moon Shield. Star Shield. And Seer, which does the exact same damage as my level 40 wand, as well as same amount of cards. So we get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 11 cards because of Seer versus the Celestial Abyss. And that's not the complete Celestial Abyss, mind you. So, there are more reasons to go with the Celestial Abyss. Well, not Celestial Abyss, the Skinless King set. So, farming Liches and Legends. The other thing is with the Liches and Legends gauntlet, and this is where I'll just run in and show you why part of me is like, yes, this is where going for the best gear possible makes sense.
You came? Hooray! Welcome, great adventurer, to this, great adventure. Come, join us in a game unlike any you've ever played. Of magic.
Sure. But here's the thing. Okay, if I... Thank you.
Playing the best game in the spiral, that's what. A game of choice, discovery, and advance.
Yep.
I've heard all the jokes. It's just nerd stuff. It promotes pro-lich heresies. That Deb wastes all their time on their Those
Yeah.
people need to get out more.
Continuing.
If you want to play, it's very simple. I'll be running the adventure, telling you the story as you explore dark tunnels and fight Your goal is to reach the treasure at the end. But which end? That depends. Check the character bios and pick your role.
So the thing is, you can't play as the bard.
You can't select the bard yet. You need to unlock him first.
Yeah. As all 5 characters. But the thing is, like, Grok
The
Tusk
barbarian, Grok Tusk.
might...
And believe me, he earned his name. Fierce, decent damage, warrior, and berserker.
So the thing is, we're not using any of our stats.
The cleric, Nalanga Windwhisper, a servant of the Temple of the 13 or so Divines, healer and noble hero.
When I say this is the Dungeons and Dragons,
Rogue, Roderick the Rat, sneak thief and backstabber, wanted in 6 kingdoms for general mischief. The fighter, One Thump Plock, renegade chief of the Avianites. He's a level-headed leader and the heaviest hitter.
and then
The druid, Granny Ravenblood. Based off of real-world mythology, she follows primal entities and the spirits of nature. Monster master and spell shifter.
but considering I'm none, the only one that could probably get any bonuses would be Roderick here from my death school. It's one of those things where it's like, yesn't. My stats should apply.
The rogue, Roderick
Keyword,
the Knight,
should.
and backstabber,
Like, if I hit
wanted in
yes.
6 kingdoms for general mischief.
Okay.
At last you arrive, wearied from your trek through the bog of misery, where you fought the beast of 20 torments and took its... But 'twas that key that granted you mighty adventurers entry to this, the dungeon of unhappy experiences.
Thank you.
Right. They should have enlisted the aid of one such as I, versed in the nomenclature arts.
Rock unhappy. Name ring true.
Indeed. There is a dark evil here. Something unholy abides in these crypts.
That would be the Leash King whose grave we've come to plunder. Did none of you read the briefing packets I prepared?
Again, Bob, if you're still here, I'm pretty sure you would agree this is very much sounding like that of D&D.
Grok read. Thank you, Grok. You are the only one. Just you and Nefertus. Yes, I feel your power, Master. The disciples of the Skinless King are here to raise you once more so that you may inflict sweet We should probably stop that.
Like Cyrus, we came here for riches. Forget the Litches. Oi, let's stay on task. Straight on to the vault.
If dark powers are about to be raised, we'll need the blessings of the Dirt Mother to withstand them. I hear her.
The choice is yours. The destination is the same, the Lich King's buried treasure. But the route is up to you.
But basically, I this is where I don't believe my stats actually are going to matter. Even though I'm playing as a death character, I have my pet.
Oh, blessed.
To say nothing of the 13 or so divines.
I did say nothing of the 13 or so fairy tales.
This from the Dirt Worshipper.
Dirt contains the 11 sacred nutrients.
Guys, I think they got our blessing.
And this is what happens when you don't entreat the 13 or...
This is what happens when you bring them up at all.
Yeah, I would expect that from, say, a cleric versus a druid, but here's the thing. I currently have the gear that gives me potential crit. So, if I were to do the... I also love the fact that these things have significant health. More than us. Okay, we got Wild Strike and all that. We're going to go with Undercut. All the spells here should be nerfed like no tomorrow, because this is supposed to be a very deadly spell. But this is where, are my stats going to actually matter, or is it they don't? And this is why I'm a little bit opposed to doing this dungeon. And it's not because of the thing. The reason I'm opposed to running this dungeon thousands of times over is if I have a shield, which I'm not getting, or is it if target has shield? Okay. Like, my question is my pet going to be able to heal me? If it is, then this is even more busted. But considering I'm wearing the gear that gives me critical rating as well, might as well take the last of his health for myself. Another Topsel worm. But, yeah. The problem I have is just, if I'm going to farm this dungeon, I'm not going to be able to do it on camera. Because the amount of time I'm going to have to run this just to get the gear I need doesn't exactly exist during a stream. Like, I'm fairly certain my character's stats should have gone off, because I don't think these enemies are supposed to have any form of critical. But I'm wearing gear that gives me critical, technically. The other aspect is, upside is after every combat you get the equivalent of a short rest. So again, I don't mind the D&D reference there, but it's still one of those, it doesn't fully function as intended. Hello, Spiderwick.
Well, we may not get the blessing of the Dirt Mother, but this thing should be useful.
Eternal Avernus.
Already I feel the darkness in this.
Still seems pretty drab to me, mates. What is that bit of shiny?
The inscription reads, "The relic of eternal Avernus, king of..."
Whatever it is, hang on to it. Sounds like it might heal or revive, maybe. Let's see what else we can find.
But yeah, literally all my stats don't exist anymore. Okay, which would have been nice if they did, because it would have at least... But that gold goes into my inventory. That's the other catch-22 here.
You arrive in a chamber that's somehow darker than before. And you know what these chortles signify. The Lich King Avernus, long thought dead and sealed in this tomb, would Also, there's a guy in here. Let's call him Guy.
Oh, thank Crackle you're here. Me mates and I were clearing some old tunnels, just exploring, you know. And then we found that...
I don't suppose them is jewels.
Them is deep spawn.
Of course them is.
We came seeking treasure, a ward, but we found a nest, and the hateful demons have blocked my fellows into a dead end.
Yes. In the name of light and divinity, we must aid these poor benighted souls.
No, smush bug nest, or they keep coming.
Good points, both of you, truly, with the smushing and heroism. Mayhap, though, we'd better seek the treasure these fellows will...
As before, the choice is yours.
And again, this is where we get into some wonderful shenaniganry, because each path, like, if we went for the treasures, we would get something else. If we go with... We would get a bunch of items that may or may not be useful for me. But if I go with this path, the destroy the deep spawn nest, that's fight a boss, and I think this one is a bunch of minions. And potentially gets us a other bonus.
Could you help us?
Return to life and kill all things. Rise, my...
And also, that is...
Can it be? Are the deep spawn awaiting the return of King Avernus? Could even the filth of the dirt serve him? Great. If we're quiet...
Nay, the shrill voice of righteousness shall not be silenced. The servants of evil must be purged.
But yeah, Deep Spawn looks like some Cthulhu-esque creature as well. But my point being that because of how low the damage output is, I'm relying on the NPCs to be able to do damage because I picked the rogue. Because my stats, I went in this thinking my stats would exist. They don't. So now it's going to take a while to actually get anywhere. Plus the fact that you're not guaranteed to get your school gear. Well, you're not guaranteed to get that anywhere anyway. But I'll gladly finish this. I enjoy this dungeon, even though I don't like how long it takes. I personally do not like how long it takes. But right now, the action economy is in my favor, not the enemies. And that's also the other thing with this. Considering the action economy is in our favor right now, this isn't a massive problem. And even now I'm thinking, considering I'm not getting a boon, nor am I getting... I think the treasure would have been the boon. Award, yeah, that would have... That was the hint. So, Semi, if you're still here, how's your day going? Hello, Spiderwick. Going okay. Hello, Lore Master, which is a spell that should not exist in this dungeon. Just saying. Well, that one's pretty much dead. One thunk guy is dead. And we're healing a character that's already at full health. The only thing that I think that makes this dungeon arguably easier is the more you do it, the more spells you get, which allow you to actually have the more cards you'll get, the more abilities that character will have, arguably, I think. It's like every time you run, this is meant to run like a roguelike, but it doesn't run like a roguelike. Oh, hello! Glad I cast that! Today's been a good day so far, just getting... the fact that, again, I doubt we'll get any of the school gear that I should get. Because arguably... getting that gear is going to be my main gear set. At least I negated that 20 plus 25. Don't really care about the other effect this spell has. It's just a death attack.
You know, for someone with Whisper in a name, you got a lot to learn about stealth, love.
Stealth is for rats.
Kits, or... Wait, what am I again?
Thank you, valiant heroes. Please take these small boons.
And we'll keep going toward the ominous chanting.
Sheet of graph paper and balance giver citrine. Okay. And the reason I'm going for the chests is because that's what you do in D&D. Come across a room with chests, you loot them, even though the loot is real. In this case. Now we have another cutscene.
From deep and dark I hear you heart, my king of earnest. Rise again, ye lord of sin, my king of earnest.
The terrible chanting grew louder and darker and more resonant, as though a million mouths now cried out, and through the dim hall, the yawning abyss of shadow, you thought you could hear the creaking of ancient... Fortunately, one of you had an idea.
I have an idea.
Cut and run? Solid plan. Right behind you, love.
No. I believe our best chance to purge this evil is to catch it unawares. Perhaps this tunnel circles round behind.
No, Grok, not scheme, not hide. We smash straight through. Grok smells enemies this way. Last time Grok smelled enemies, we walked headlong into an army. We know Nefertus is chanting down this tunnel. He should be our target.
Make the choice, my friends.
See, that's the thing. That's where it's okay. If we go with Nefertus, I think he's a boss that shows up at the end as well. If we sneak around, or if we smash right through, I think... Again, I'm also playing as a rogue. Rogues would always sneak.
Can I just say, if we're going to insist on doing something this stupid, at least we're doing it quietly.
So glad you approve. Now be silent.
Ah! Sense that too, do you? It is practically...
Destroy it!
Use it.
Destroy it!
About that...
Shut up!
Oh, look. Sacrifices for great King of Ernest. I'm sure our Lord will enjoy building a throne from your remains.
At least now we have 2 out of the 3 boons. Oh, hello! Since we leveled up, we actually get a... interesting spell. Okay. This is why I said... about the whole thing. Minus 100 outgoing damage for 4 turns. That is nice. Considering they're still considered rank 1 elite, I'm pretty sure if I were to do this again with the rogue a couple thousand times more. Hello, Ratatoskar. But that's going to be a good question of if the dungeon allows you to remember when you level up a character. I doubt it. But if it does, that would be interesting. Oh, now you heal. That I did not agree with. But considering you actually have to get a badge, yeah, I could see this should save it actually. I just got more health than that thing output. Yeah, that's weird. Then the damage output. That's weird. That also did more. Okay, so all the characters did get level ups. Just certain spells either got unlocked or do more damage now. Now, typically, I like playing Rogue because playing Rogue gets you double damage. Okay, minus 100 for the next 4 turns. Which really means that they shouldn't be able to do any damage to us for the next 4 turns at least. Hey. Best attack spell currently. Again, part of it is just how slow this dungeon goes. That's part of the problem I'm having. If it wasn't the fact that this is a very slow dungeon, it might be worth looking at some other gauntlets then. Possibly. if the gauntlet, if it's just if this gauntlet is going to take as long as it is, then doing a different gauntlet might be better because at least I'm using my stats, which will allow me to clear the dungeon faster. Arguably. It might be worth farming the hidden temple gauntlet at a castle tour's house. If it's at the castle tour's house anyway.
This is your fault. You and your hunger for dark magic.
I was merely suggesting that if we're to fight King Avernus, Lich Lord of the Nether Night, we should use...
I am the knight that hunger.
Okay, yes, fine. Take the medallion of... what's it called? Shadow Summon. Sweet divines!
Wait. We're not actually gonna fight the knight that hungers, are we?
We are good.
It would make quite a tale.
Yeah, we're going to fight it. So buckle up those breeches, Roddy, and let's go.
Well, that's just, heal up if anyone needs healed, which is not the case because I'm the only one who needs healed because everyone gets revived. Is there any other chests? Yep. Earl of Litchington, deep spawn. Yeah, it's a 4v4.
Finally, you have come to fulfill your great duty.
Nay, vile phantasm. We are not here to serve you, or to be sacrificed to you, but to defy you.
And thus is your great purpose. The heroes come to vanquish the dread beast. What grander purpose is there?
I sense a twist coming.
Your defiance gives hope to the world. A hope which your deaths will dispel.
And there it is.
In hope's void will breed despair. It will spread a dark miasma that will cloud every heart as I burn every realm, leaving naught but soot.
Over our dead bodies. Dead body?
Precisely. Your deaths will be the core. Grok, stab, knight. Eloquent as always, Grok. Come on, team.
Oi. Oi. Not happy. Now, I believe he does have one. His team does have the thing that'll make it so he takes less damage every bloody time. So I will just do the minus 75. Relic of Eternal Avernus, which gets us the resurrection. So technically it's 8v4, so 2v1. Not Anubis, but also a very deadly spell at higher levels. $50 damage versus doing what, 175 emblem protect me, yeah. Love how the big guy has a D20 while the other guy has a D8. As well as a crown of D10s. No, not D10s, those are D8s. Is he nothing but the D8 guy? No, he's got two D4s. By the angle, anyway. Let's see. Putting that on you. Wow, we've actually already almost killed the boss. That surprising me. Catch of the day. There we go. Go with that on the boss. Attacking me, of course. Oh, attacking everyone. With 0 damage. Yes, which is... as I still have my wonderful healing aura. He should be dead this turn. $75 points of damage for 75 healing. Okay, so that makes sense now. Next turn is when it should go off then. Got it. They're really going after the druid. Really going after the druid. He is dead. You're doing that. You should be dead. So, go after the guy that has a higher health. And he gets healed. Okay, that's good. Ah! Headless Horseman. That's going to, if the enemy 200, 350. Another Headless Horseman. That's another heavy hitting spell. Please be hitting me, because I have that regen still. No. At least it's hitting the guy with the armor. Though that's a minus 100, it won't do any damage, it should still heal him. Yep. The hell is this? Oh. And a banshee. Yesn't, I firmly believe we're going to lose, even with the regen. Because a few good hits is all it's going to take. Like that. And that. I'm going to get healed. I still have my wonderful come back to life thing. But... But I'm not going to be able to do much. I might be able to get Earl of Litchington done. But the other boss minion is not going to be any better. Because I'm dead. I'll get the Earl of Litchington down, but... this attack is going to be my death. Oh. Because that is... demonstrably unfair. Very demonstrably unfair. I thought we would have only had one chance, not here, let's recuperate. But then again, I also did get unlucky with the boss's cheats of the whole sucker punch of paralysis. Okay, so we're all targeting him, basically. Star, you're attacking Key for some reason. That's going to be a painful spell. Oh, that is rare in its own issues. Okay, so that's 100. That is... Now, that's if I'm read that correctly, by the way. For this spell bonus. And are we going to lose our first person already? Yes. Literally, I don't have much choice in the matter. Sorry that I'm silent, it's just... Again, doing this dungeon a couple times is not a fun process. As well as losing already one of our members, basically, because... Okay, that's one of them down. Be nice if the druid was actually healing. That's probably going to kill off the rest of his HP. upside, the Barbarian doesn't have that -25 penalty now. Ow, that still hurt. They're all going for King of Avernus again. That's going to hurt again. $310. You're healing, which is good. Let's go with... They're doing that. I am going to go after doing some more explosions on Nefertus. That way Nefertus gets taken out. Good, the Barbarian survives. Via the Spider Wick. In theory. Mainly in theory. Nope, he's dead. Then that heal over time ends immediately. It should have failed. She's healing herself. That's fine, but she's going to die. Eight, 1100. Should have gone for the ward. We're all dead. At least she comes back without needing the, weakness. And he's dead, and we only have... This is not going to be a winnable... Zero. And this is where I die and get brought back. This is TPK number 2 of the same chance, same thing going in directly. And dead. Dead. I'm dead. I can't do anything. And... yeah, I might be brought back, but I'm still dead. Catch of the day, and now the healer's dead. And now I'm dead again, because that's going to be Cyclops, which does 200 points of damage. And they all return. You must press on. You have a done. Okay. We have died multiple times to this dungeon. Yes. $2,715. Okay, let's just switch back to the death main gear for a second. $2,829. I have more health with my lower level gear, but okay, so that dungeon isn't going to work because that bite like no tomorrow. That means I'm going to have to do a different dungeon. Now, I'm going to figure out which dungeon would be better. Because that's going to be the main catch, is what dungeon gauntlet is going to be better for this level. Because at level 50, we're supposed to be entering Celestia, and I was hoping to enter Celestia proper today. But I need something that's actually going to... The only other option I have is accepting the Spooky Carnival attire, at which this isn't any better. So I'm in a bit of a catch-22 here. Oh, if I go to Drizzleheim, I can at least turn in that quest. But yeah, I'm a bit confuzzled. Because no matter what I did, there wasn't going to be a way we won.
You have done a great thing indeed, far more mighty than any hero of this land. You have saved our world from eternal ice. All the warriors of Grizzleheim must now look to your legend as an example of what a hero can do. Your home world awaits. It is certain that fate holds even greater adventures ahead for you.
Okay, defeat a great unkindness. But now I should be able to theoretically have a quest down here. Not yet. Okay. Well, anyway, I'm going to be right back. I do need to do actual research to see if the gauntlet, what gauntlet would be better to go for, where I actually have a chance at beating versus what happened with the dungeon that should actually have been a good dungeon to farm, minus some of the spells. It would have been a good place to get some gear anyway. So I will be actually right back. Going to disappear for a bit.
wizard? Oh, you gotta help! Something horrifying and grotesque is happening. An act as twisted and murky as the bayou itself. A crazy mad scientist is experimenting on folks, forming unnatural things. My patrons have fried it off, or worse, taken by this. His riverboat crashed, and now the swamp is swamped with critters that make that ravenous old Rougarou look like nothing to worry about, I tell you me. This deranged doctor must be found. His outrageous experiments must be stopped. Maybe then his victims, poor souls that they are, can be on your guard, mon ami. Everything is meaner in the bayou. Even the bugs will make your hair stand on end, I guarantee.
Tingle, comb, tangle, comb. The ends, they split. Why? Braids, braids, braids.
Okay, I haven't been talking the entire time. Brilliant. I thought I raised that back up. Crap. Okay. So you guys just watched me get my butt handed to me a couple of times. So this is where we're hitting our snack. Now, the D&D gauntlet, I have to beat with what I have in the D&D gauntlet. If I go with my, But with the Nightmare, I'm wearing level appropriate gear. I have potential critical rating. So I'm going to have to look at some gear. I was hopeful with the loyalty store that I'd at least get one piece of Death School gear, and I got 2 pieces of Life School. So I'm a little annoyed by that one. So I gotta figure out something. I gotta figure out... Because here's the thing with this bonus. I need, what? I have 4 out of 6. I'm missing 2 items. One of them is the spell deck. One of them is the other thing, which would give me more critical and a lot more health. But, yeah, I'm going to figure out how that works. So I'm going to end the stream here. Thank you guys for watching it, and I'll see you guys on the next episode. If you're new, hit the subscribe button. And, yeah, I had a blast. Things were going well, and I think this stream went rather well. So thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys next week.